Hello, and welcome to KMT News 3. Today we're going to be interviewing John Adams and Abigail Smith about their lifetime.
I'm so glad to be here.
Let's get started.
So, can you tell us about your life, John?
I was the firstborn child of John and Susanna Boylston Adams. I was born October 30th, 1735 in Braintree, now known as Quincy of Massachusetts. My father was a farmer and a church deacon. As I grew older, my attention turned more and more towards the outdoors. I like sticks. I always tried ways to avoid school. My siblings are Peter and Elihu. We would spend much time ice skating and in frozen ponds. We would swim, fly kites, and my favorite activity, hunting. In 1751, at age 16, I went to Harvard College in Cambridge to study marsh.
Interesting. Abigail, I knew that you helped John with a lot of politic things. Can you explain this?
Oh, yes, I can. So on March 4th, 1797, John, my husband, was inaugurated as the second president of the United States. John was the second president till 1801. John and I had a lot of experience with being diplomat in France, the Netherlands, and Britain. In the Constitution, it stated the runner-up should become vice president. John with 71 votes and Thomas Jefferson with 68 votes shows that John would be the second president of the United States. Our Secretary of State was Timothy Pickering. Our Secretary of Treasury was Oliver Wolcott. Our Secretary of War was James McHenry. Our Attorney General was Charles Lee. And our Secretary of the Navy was Benjamin Stoddard.
Wow, you two must have been very busy. John, can you tell us about your presidency?
Yes, indeed. During my presidency, relations with France were bad because they looted American ships to keep us from trading with Britain. So I sent people to negotiate because I wanted peace, but they refused. Everyone was ready for war when the French sent 3 men to collect a bribe for the minister to hold talks. But I released the names of the people and the whole nation turned against France. This was called the XYZ scandal because in the report about this, they were called X, Y, and Z instead of their actual names.
Hello? Is this France? You suck.
This started an unofficial war called the Quasi-War. Next, I sent another peace mission that worked, and France became one of our best trading partners. Earlier during my presidency, I kept the same cabinet members Washington had because they had experience. But some disliked me and worked against me, making me look weak. This split began splitting up my supporters and making them want a better leader. The party that I ran for was the Federalist Party. The boundaries of the U.S. were from the Atlantic to Mississippi. I also created something called the Alien and Sedition Acts in 1798, which increased the waiting period to become a citizen from 5 years to 14. It also allowed the president to arrest disloyal immigrants, and it outlawed saying or writing something bad or false about the government. My vice president created something called state rights. This said that states had the rights that federal government could not violate. It put the state government in between the federal government and the people to protect them.
I understand your presidency, but can you explain your legacy?
Indeed. First, I was the creator of the Mississippi Territory in 1798. I created the U.S. Navy in 1797. I also created the Public Health Service in 1798 after the yellow fever epidemic. And I made the Library of Congress in 1800. I also helped the movement of the Capitol to D.C. and started the White House's construction. As you can tell, I created a lot of things during my presidency.
So, you did create a lot of things, but so did our president we have today. Abigail, can you compare and contrast yourself and John to our current president today?
Yes, indeed I can. Let's start off with this. I know when John was president, there was only 4 million people in the United States. Now, Obama is president, and there's 318.9 million people in the United States. John was our second president, and Obama is our 44th president. John served only 4 years, as Obama is serving 8. John and Obama both attended Harvard College. Me and John have 3 kids together. Michelle and Obama have 2 kids together. Me and John got lost looking for the White House because it was surrounded by woods. It was crazy. But Obama and Michelle didn't get lost because it's not surrounded by woods anymore. That's about all I know on that topic, and immigration was a big problem back then.
I can't believe you and John got lost. Do you have any other interesting facts, Abigail?
Well, if I didn't mention, John and I got married in 1764. Oh, and when John attended Harvard College, he went there for 8 years. Before he was president, he helped make peace between England and the United States in 1782 to 1783. John spent all his childhood making and sailing boats, making and flying kites, driving hoops, playing with marbles, wrestling, swimming, skating, and the best, shooting.
Cool facts, Abigail. I'm so sorry, but our time here is up. I hope you learned something about John Adams and Abigail Smith. We will see you next time on KMT News 3.